Potentially one of the most massive games on the Week 2 slate is Nebraska and Colorado. Going to give you our prediction in this game on our Tuesday live show, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the On3 YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed. Want y'all a part of everything that we are doing here. Again, going to give you our winner in this game on Tuesday. However, let's take it's Sunday. Week 2 is essentially started, right? Like we are past Week 1 into Week 2. So let's take a very, very early look at what is going to be the differentiating factors in who wins this football game in Nebraska and Colorado. That'll be in Lincoln. Last year, Nebraska, I mean, they gave the football away like it was Halloween. Like it was trick or treat. Here's a turnover, here's a turnover, here's a turnover. I don't think that'll be the flavor for Nebraska this year offensively. New quarterback Dylan Raiola. He excites you with what he can do pushing the ball downfield, but I mean, I think for Nebraska fans, the real excitement should be his ability to take care of the football. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Colorado now, They have a potent offense. Like, if any of us forgot what Travis Hunter is capable of doing, what Shedeur Sanders is capable of doing, we got to be reminded of that this past week with what they did against North Dakota State on Thursday night. However, there's still a couple of questions I think we should all ask together when it comes to this game. And my question, honestly, from the jump is going to be, what does Colorado do in the trenches? Because what they did against North Dakota State is not going to be enough against Nebraska. Nebraska ran for 200 yards plus against UTEP. Colorado, they allowed like 3.5, almost 4 yards a carry against North Dakota State. That's not going to cut it. Now, I would say this. For Colorado, they were defending a lot more design quarterback runs against North Dakota State. Nebraska could do some of that with Heinrich Haarberg if they want to have some packages for him. The reason why that's important, in a quarterback design run, there's an extra blocker your defense has to account for. I would be surprised if we saw as much of that from Nebraska as we did for North Dakota State. But again, if Nebraska can just pound the rock and keep Shedeur Sanders on the sideline, I promise you, they would love to do that. Slow the game down. Get the crowd into it. Wear out that defense. Maybe eventually something opens up downfield to take some shots if you're Dylan Raiola. But like overall, that's the style of game Nebraska wants to play. Can they do that? Remains to be seen. A lot of that depends on what Colorado does in the trenches. Kind of a subplot here. Does Colorado do a good job getting after Dylan Raiola? Because that was one of the things that they really tried to address via the portal, is having some speed off the edge to go out and get the quarterback. Young quarterback, maybe you get to him early. Does that cause him to see ghosts? Does that turn into turnovers? And turnovers, I mean, Nebraska fans are just shuddering with me even saying that in relation to Colorado, because there were so many last year that ended up making this game ugly in Boulder last year. So that's the question for, the trenches in terms of Nebraska and Colorado. But honestly, man, in every meaningful way, the secondary for Nebraska and the battle against that Colorado wide receiver room, I think, will be nearly as impactful, because we saw North Dakota State just pretty much say, hey, we can't play y'all man, so we're going to play zone. And then Shedeur Sanders just absolutely carved up that zone. Jimmy Horn carved up that zone with a lot of catch and run opportunities. Had almost 200 yards on the night. Can Nebraska play man coverage and allow this to be a thing where they get to play a little bit more honest against Shedeur Sanders? Because if you have to play zone, again, I think you're going to see a lot of what they did to North Dakota State happening against Nebraska. And the concerning thing, I think, if you're a Nebraska fan, is yes, you beat UTEP pretty soundly and the box score looks good, but there's a couple of plays there where you're like, hang on, like if UTEP's getting some deep past success against us, what's Colorado going to do? Because no shade to UTEP, but Colorado's wide receiver room with Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn, I'm going to go down the line here and name all these receivers they have. They will do a lot of damage. Shepard will do a lot of damage then, to name another receiver for Colorado. That's going to be a concern, I think, if you're Nebraska. Because if you can take away the pass game, or at least minimize the pass game, Colorado, I have very real reservations about them being able to run the football. I have them. I also think that Colorado has them based on how they closed out their last game with not running the football with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, so it is what it is. This whole game comes down to who controls the tempo. I think Colorado wants to make it a sprint. They want to make it a let's go score for score, try and match us. You're not beating Colorado at that game. In a shootout, Colorado will win this football game. That's assuming, again, that Nebraska's secondary has real issues and Colorado goes and scores 40-ish. That would be a way that Colorado would win. Nebraska, they want to make this race a little bit more of a cross-country meet. Hey, let's go the long game. Let's kind of keep a good little tempo, little pace here. And then over the course of the next 4 quarters, we're just going to wear you out. maybe it'll be close for the first quarter. Maybe it'll be close for the first, few laps. But after we start to kind of wear you down, keep your defense out there, suffocate your offense, we hold the ball for a long time, then we make our move and we win. So those are the two styles, honestly, I think you're going to hear talked about a lot this week. Colorado's ability and potential to be able to get out of the gate fast and force Nebraska to chase with a freshman quarterback. And then Nebraska's hope to just wear down that Colorado defense and keep Shedeur Sanders on the sideline. Again, turnovers, it's very cliche, but turnovers, much like they were the story last year, the lack thereof could be the story this year. Again, we'll have our prediction for you on Tuesday, so make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. College football season is here, baby. We want y'all a part of it. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.